I think we can all agree that there's a deep heaviness in the world right now, and it just lingers in the air. There are so many people just looking around wondering, where's the leadership? How did wrong become so celebrated, and why does everyone seem so numb? It's unsettling, but there's something important to remember, that chaos is always louder than character. The world has seasons where confusion rises to the surface, and where integrity feels rare, where noise replaces wisdom. It doesn't mean that goodness disappeared. It means spectacle is getting more attention than substance. And the numbness that you can sense with people right now, it's not moral failure. It's exhaustion. People are tired. People are wore out. People are deflated. And when people feel overwhelmed long enough, our nervous systems protect us and they shut down. We want to go quiet. It doesn't mean that we don't care and that people don't care. It means that we're just tired of carrying what feels too big to hold on to. If you're like me, I carry the weight of the world on my shoulders because I hate to sit back and think that there's something I need to do, but I don't know what to do. So I allow that to really weigh heavy on me. And so I've had to learn to let go. I've had to learn that just because things aren't talked about doesn't mean they don't go unnoticed. And that when we trust in God and we know that God is real, we know that there's a bigger plan. And we know that God is currently bringing all this evil to light. So he's turning this darkness to light. He's waking people up. He is saying, hey, people, turn around. I'm right here. So how do we need to respond? So many people want to get upset and angry and blame and point fingers. And like, where's that getting anybody anywhere? Look at Washington. They're like kindergartners. They sit and bicker and fight and back and forth, and nothing gets done. Meanwhile, these public servants who are voted in are leaving their jobs with $300 million net worths, and the average American person can't even live. It's sickening. It's ridiculous. So, we do not need to be responding with rage. We see where that goes. Look at Minnesota. Absolutely ridiculous. No sense of leadership. And those people, like, what is the point of destruction and protesting, and like, where does that get anybody? It's because if you don't stand for something, you're going to stand for anything, and there you go. So we need to stop with the rage. We need to not panic in this moment, and we need to realize that we are not in despair. We need to just respond by simply becoming steady and consistent in our everyday life. We need to remember that we are not responsible for fixing the entire world, but we are responsible for how we show up in it. So this means, how are you interacting with one another on the streets, your neighbors, your friends, families, coworkers, your church members, your just your everyday people that you see at the gym and the grocery store, and what are you doing to uplift and encourage others? We know that leadership feels absent at the top, but it can definitely rise right here in our very homes, in our workplaces, in the friendships, in the way we speak, and in the way we refuse to harden our hearts. Darkness has never needed permission to be loud. We've seen it time and time again from the beginning of time. There is nothing new under the sun. It's just that we get to live in such a time that we're now experiencing it, and it's hard to fathom that we're in a spiritual battle. But you just need to be tuned into it. Be aware of it. You don't need to believe. Believe what you want, but just be aware and stand guard. Light, being able to shine your light, has never needed majority to shine. We don't need anybody's approval to choose joy and shine bright. And guess what? Integrity goes a lot further than stooping down to the shallowness of the world. And trust me, I have been made fun of for being too kind, too nice, and being, choosing to be a decent human being rather than take the easy route and screw people over and hurt others and tear others down. That's the easy way. That is stooping down to the shallowness of the world, and that is what these individuals, these sick individuals, are doing right now in this world. Nobody is holding themselves accountable. So when you stand up with integrity and you shine bright with truth, you're going to stand out. And guess what? People are going to talk. And guess what? You don't need to care, because why? God. God is bigger than anything and any person. on this earth. So let your light shine. Do not dim it for anybody. And you're probably feeling unsettled. And know that you're not crazy. If you weren't unsettled, I would be a lot more concerned. Because those that aren't unsettled by seeing the pedophilia rings and the corruption that's going on in this country, and God only knows what goes on in the world, then you really need to be checking your heart. And if you are feeling tired and you're feeling like something is off, trust that instinct. You're not wrong. You're not wrong for feeling wore down and tired. Think about this. This has been going on for years now. This gear that's just roaring underneath the surface, and it's causing all of this deep tension amongst humanity. And I'm very in tune with the frequencies of the earth. We are energy, and we're surrounded by energy. And so when those frequencies are off, people are spun into this fury of chaos, and they no way to know where to turn. But you must not surrender your character to this chaos. Chaos is created to cause confusion, and guess what? Confusion then adds to control. So the more you feed into it, the more control those people will have over your character. Do not throw away your character for the chaos that is in this world. Stay grounded. Stay compassionate to one another. God's biggest commandment is what? Love God and love one another. There are many people I dislike. I dislike their actions. But guess what? I will always treat people with dignity and respect. And I speak my truth. And sometimes, I may not have a filter with some topics or some concerns in my life, but no matter what I say will always be the truth, and I will always stand back and hold myself accountable for my actions. And with that, I'm able to live with integrity, live with a clear conscience, and allow my light to shine because I'm choosing to be an extension of God's love. And just remember that the most powerful thing you can do in this disoriented world is to remain aligned with truth, with love, and with courage. It's not easy. The world feels very unstable, but we do not have to live in that instability. We know that if we choose a firm foundation, we can stand back and look and see what's happening and realize that everything is unfolding as it should. And guess what? God creates all things for his good. So, whether you are a big believer in God or not, I happen to live in the Christian faith. I believe in Jesus. I firmly believe that God will bring all things to good, and he is bringing darkness to light. So stay alert, stay aware, stay consistent, and persevere. Do not give up. Do not tear down your own character to step into the chaos, and just rise above. And know that you are not alone, and know that just because something may not be done or that justice is not being done in front of us does not mean that the individuals that have done what they have done and that the individuals that are causing the chaos aren't going to see their justice, because justice will be served, and an eternity in hell is a very, 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 very long time. So I don't wish hell on my worst enemy, but if people don't start getting their hearts directed correctly, it's going to be a very sad and shallow life for them. So with that, I just want to encourage everybody to just shine bright in this dim world. It's not easy. It's a lot of times it's difficult to have that mentality. But when we stop, we breathe, we focus, and say, okay, I believe in something bigger than myself. I am going to live to uplift and encourage others, and just move forward. And before you know it, your light begins shining brighter, and we create that ripple effect. So it begins with you and deciding to be the change that you want to see. Have a wonderful day.